In the quiet suburbs of Sydney, Australia, a young woman's life was violently cut short in a horrifying act of betrayal. Michelle Leng, a 24-year-old Chinese-Australian woman, had been living in Australia for several years, building a future, a promise. She had a close-knit family, a strong work ethic, and a bright future ahead of her. However, what Michelle could not foresee was the treachery lurking within her own family, someone she trusted completely. On the surface, Michelle's life appeared to be normal. She was enrolled at the University of Technology Sydney UTS and was striving to build a successful career in business. With her family's support and a strong academic background, Michelle was set to embrace the opportunities Australia had to offer. Her aunt and uncle, who lived nearby, provided her with a safe and supportive environment, allowing her to focus on her education and personal growth. Little did she know, however, that her world would come crashing down in the most unimaginable way. On the fateful day of April 21, 2016, Michelle was last seen in Sydney's Pitt Street Mall, a bustling shopping district. She was headed home to her family, but she never made it. Her disappearance set off a wave of panic and confusion among her family and friends. No one could have predicted what would come next, the slow unraveling of the disturbing truth behind Michelle's tragic death. Michelle's body was discovered 3 days later in a remote location near Memorial National Park, more than 270 kilometers from her home. Her body had been brutally stabbed multiple times. The shocking nature of the crime was made even worse by the realization that the perpetrator was someone she had trusted, the very person she had considered a protector, her uncle, Derek Barrett. In this episode of Room 57, we explore the chilling details of Michelle Leng's tragic and how a seemingly safe and supportive family member turned into the very monster that would end her life. The investigation that followed would reveal a deep betrayal, a horrifying crime, and a criminal who was lurking closer than anyone could imagine. What drove Derek Barrett to murder his niece in such a brutal manner? How did his twisted obsession go unnoticed for so long? And what lessons can we take from this heartbreaking case? Part 1. Michelle Leng, a life full of promise. Shattered in an instant, Michelle Leng was born in 1991 in Chengdu, China, to a loving and supportive family. She was the firstborn child of her parents, and her arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Michelle's early years were filled with joy and promise, as her family provided her with a strong foundation based on love, education, and the hope that she would achieve greatness. In 2011, when Michelle was 20 years old, her family made the life-changing decision